Okay. Is the text on the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So career clarity, the what, how, and what next. Simple. So what according to you is career clarity? Can somebody tell me quick 1 or 2 or 3 answers to this question?
Knowing what we are going to pursue as a profession.
What am I going to pursue as a profession? Okay. What
Knowing
else?
what our goals are in the next 5 to 10 years and what action plan you are going to decide for the same.
Okay, next goals for next 5 to 10 years and what you are going to do for that. Okay, wonderful. What else?
Being clear of your career, starting from your path to how to follow your path, how to stay focused, etc., etc.
How to stay focused? Okay, that is necessary 100%, but it may not be the it may not be the answer to this question. My question is, what is career clarity? So half of the answer what you gave is absolutely right.
Not having an idealistic image of the career and having a concise idea of what it actually entails.
Okay.
What exactly want to do after the education?
What exactly I want to do after the education? Okay. Any other different answer from this? Or any additional answers from whatever we have?
What are the studies related to the education after, the career after education?
So what are you trying to say? I did not get.
All the studies, all the education after the career, means after deciding what the basic career we are going to do.
Okay, yes, got it. Okay, can all of you keep yourself muted once you are done with the talking, because we are having some disturbance. Okay, thank you. So what I understand as a career clarity is, one, what do I want to do? Now here I'm not talking about whether I want to do medical, whether I want to do engineering, whether I want to do game development. I'm talking of in which field I would like to give my contribution as far as the society is concerned. So in a way, when you are making a career, you actually are contributing to the society in some or the other way, either through game development or through accounting, or through arts and design, or through engineering, mechanical engineering, anything. You are contributing something. So first, are we clear that in which field I would like to work, or I would like to give my contribution? Whether I want to become a doctor or not can be a secondary part. But I want to work in the healthcare industry, or I want to work in the health segment, broad. I want to work in the literary segment, broad idea. I want to work in the field of psychology, okay, broad idea, right? So first, what do I really want to do, and in which field I would like to give my contribution? You may also say that in which field I would like to work. I have just tried to elaborate that work as a contribution to the society. Secondly, do I have the talent, the personality, the interest, the emotional quotient, and work style necessary for that field or necessary for that work? Only interest may not be enough or sufficient. Only talent may not be enough or sufficient. And as we go progress on, you will understand this. Third, then what are the various educational paths that will lead to my desired work field? अगर मुझे राइटर बनना है, मुझे राइटिंग के एरिया में काम करना है, तो कौन सा एजुकेशन लेना पड़ेगा? अगर मुझे हेल्थ केयर में काम करना है तो मुझे कौन सा एजुकेशन लेना पड़ेगा? कौन कौन से एजुकेशनल ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है, ये पहले पता होना चाहिए, rather than jumping on to whether I am going to do it or not. First, you should be knowing what are the various educational paths. And I am aware that some of you might be absolutely clear on some of these things. Now, after understanding or after having a clarity of what are the various educational paths that will lead to my desired work, you also need to then have a clarity, what will I pursue or what will I acquire उसमें से. Say for example, healthcare में काम करने के लिए there might be 7 to 8 different educational paths, and there might be n number of further sub-educational paths. So out of those multiple number of educational courses or degrees, which one will I go for? That is the next clarity of career. And then you also need to understand, do I have the competencies or skills to complete that educational journey as well? Now, quite often, we really don't pay attention to all the answers of all these questions, because हमको लगता है कि हाँ ये मैं कर लूंगा. If I have got interest in maths, I will complete my engineering. Or if I have got interest in languages, I may complete my arts course. Or if I have got some interest in music, I may complete my graduation in music field. It's good, it would be fantastic if you have that confidence, but additionally understand what all the course content is, and do you have the necessary competencies to complete that course content? Because as a career coach, when I'm interacting with people across the country, I get many times students coming to me in the second or third year of their architecture or engineering and saying that, sir, nahi ho raha hai abhi humse. We are not able to complete it. So many of students who appear for, say, CA or CS or competitive exams like UPSC, MPSC, see, there is a certain skill set of personality that is required to even qualify in these exams. To become a successful IAS officer or a IPS officer or a IFS officer, yes, there will be certain skills required, and if you don't have those skills, you may not succeed enough. But even to compete, enter that field, there is an entrance exam, and you have to study hard for that entrance exam. So do you have the competencies even for that? That analysis also needs to be done, because different types of exams, say for example, if you want to become a CA, a different type of skill set in terms of academic skill set would be required, and a different type of academic skill set would be required for a UPSC kind of exam. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at least having clarity on these 5 questions is very, very important when you say that, what is my career clarity? Right? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Super.
sir.
Super. Thank you. So how do we do that? Now let's quickly move on, because I know sometimes I tend to spend a lot of time on certain things. But if you are in standard 8th and 9th, don't be in a rush to decide your career option. In 8th and 9th, you should be exploring enough. You should be digging enough. You should be finding out enough information. So all the areas, explore all those areas that are using or are based on your favorite subjects in the school. The ones in which you are usually comfortably performing well and you feel extremely happy studying those subjects. Now I am trying to give you a very, very simplistic approach, and this works. अगर आप 8th और 9th में हो, don't try to jump in कि नहीं मेरे को GA का preparation चालू करना है. In the market there are lot many school classes now, those who have created a lot of pressure in the market on the parents and students की foundation join कर लो, foundation join कर लो, foundation join कर लो. आप 8th और 9th में अगर पाकलीवाल या एम प्रकाश ज्वाइन नहीं करोगे, तो चलेगा, it's okay, you still can become an engineer. It is absolutely not necessary that you have to join these coaching classes right in the standard 8. They have created a lot of pressure just for sake of their commercial gains. It is absolutely not necessary. Take your time in these 2 years to explore your fields. And how do you do that? Travel a lot with that intention. Don't travel only for the sake of picnic and holiday. Travel with the intention of finding information, gathering information, read a lot. Luckily you have got the YouTube channels and television channels who are giving a lot of information. Now, seeking information doesn't mean watching documentaries. It can be even sometimes watching movies which are concerned with that field. That's absolutely nice, and that's absolutely okay. Meet people, meet more and more people with such kind of intention of just having information in my subject. What kind of career options are available in, say, statistics? What kind of career options are available in English language or mathematics or chemistry or microbiology? Meet various people and figure out. Just get more and more information. You can do virtual internships. You can do certain projects in that field. And make sure that you keep a notebook during these 2 years of noting down whatever you have gathered in terms of information. So keeping notes is equally important. Otherwise, you will just forget everything and you will remember only few points. So this is the first step, I would say, of the how part of your career clarity. And as I rightly said earlier also, have a concrete and time-bound action plan to do even the exploration. Many times it happens, हाँ मैं सोच रहा हूँ, मैंने काफी youngsters के साथ जब बात करता हूँ ना, career decision हुआ नहीं है, I'm still exploring. When he says still exploring, he doesn't have any concrete action plan of exploring. He's just thinking. So उसका exploration thinking level पे चल रहा है. बीच-बीच में कहीं पे किसी ने कुछ दिखा दिया, किसी ने कुछ बता दिया तो वो सुन लेता है या समझ लेता है. लेकिन there is no proactive action plan. Okay, in order to explore, in next 2 months I will do this, in next 3 months I will do this, in next 6 months I will do this, in next 1 year I will do this, these many things. So you should have some action plan. Okay, I will meet 10 people in next 10 months. I will read at least 20 articles with respect to my subject. I will do at least 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 virtual internships, for example, or I will do at least 4 projects in that field. And the projects can be related to science or projects can be related to arts also. So you should have, and I'll go and travel and meet so many, or I will travel to so many destinations just to gather information. There should be a concrete action plan. Now we are talking of standard 8th and 9th. We are not talking of graduation level reach. For that level, of course, the things have to be speeded up. But at least in 8th and 9th, you should have this kind of action plan. Then we come to step number 2. Now, once you have got all the information, doesn't mean that you should be immediately jumping onto a conclusion that हाँ मैंने information ले ली और उसमें से मेरे को ये अच्छा लग रहा है and I'm going to do that. Again, let me tell you, it may not be really very intelligent to jump onto that kind of conclusion immediately. So step 2 is now come back and dive deeper into yourself. So now by the standard of 10th, you are more mature, you have got a bit more experience, plus you have got a lot of information from the market, from the people. Now you need to dive deep within yourself and assess your personality. What are you made for? What kind of personality do you have? And there are various tools available in the market. One of the tools is, say, for example, and there are multiple tools of psychometric tests, which will help you. Now, don't be prejudiced about psychometric test. I have seen so many students, they feel यार कुछ नहीं, वो aptitude test फालतू होता है. For example, मैंने देखा है स्कूलों में सारे बच्चे एक जैसे आंसर्स देते हैं. See, your malpractices or your wrong practices do not justify your thoughts. Let me tell you. आपने स्कूल में आपके सारे दोस्तों ने मिलके कोई एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट दिया था और उसके आंसर्स ऐसे ही दिए थे, इसका मतलब एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट गलत नहीं होता है, आपने गलत तरीके से दिया था. So don't underestimate this tool. This is a scientific tool which has been helping the entire world. Nowadays, many companies, including all IT companies, they take aptitude test before even screening the resumes. before even calling people for interview. In fact, they use aptitude test for screening people. Many professional colleges take aptitude test. If you are trying to go abroad, none of the university gives you admission without taking an aptitude test. So they check whether you are eligible, whether you are made for that the particular kind of educational course or professional career. So assess your personality, deep dive within yourself to check your personality, what kind of person you are. Personality doesn't mean simply what you understand of yourself. There might be n number of angles to your personality कि आपको ही मालूम नहीं है. आपको मालूम उतना ही होता है जितना आपको exposure मिला है. You have been exposed to something, you start liking something and you feel, oh, I am such kind of person. When you discuss with some people certain personality aspects, oh, you realize, okay, I am such kind of person. But there are so many things which you don't know. And knowing what you don't know is the first step in your development. So second step of understanding how part of the career clarity process is assess your personality. So first was explore for information and knowledge. Second is assess your personality. So personality assessment में क्या-क्या होता है? I'll just give you a brief of this. Say for example, personality में decision making capacity आपकी क्या है? आपका locus of control क्या है? What is your resilience? What is your integrity level? What is your team working ability? What is your enthusiasm? What are your organizational skills? And there are 15 to 16 such different traits of your personality which needs to be assessed in order to figure out what kind of career you are mostly suited for. As Abhay rightly said, it is not about which career is best. It is about which career am I best for. So quite often ऐसा हो सकता है कि you are an absolute introvert and you are trying to make a career in a field which requires a lot of extraversion. Or you are trying to take a career path which needs a lot of extraversion. So this may not be fitting well. Then in personality के अलावा aptitude देखा जाता है. Aptitude मतलब क्या है? Your talent potential basically. So logical aptitude है, verbal aptitude है, abstract aptitude है, creative aptitude है. IT का भी aptitude होता है. You know, there are some people who understand computing very fast and there are some people who have to bang their heads to understand simple basic concepts of computing. Do you all agree with me? I am sure some of you really feeling ये computer क्या है यार? I mean, पुराने ज़माने में काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर जैसे एक proverb था. वैसे नया ज़माने में ये computing को लेके there are lot many concepts which some people really don't understand and some people are pro at it. Now, just operating a smartphone or operating a computer doesn't really mean that you have got a computing skill. Okay. So it's like if you can walk, you will feel that yes, I can immediately qualify for the triathlon and I can, be a sprinter or I can run a marathon. No, it's not. You will have to really practice a lot for that. Similarly, having an IT perspective or having an IT aptitude, you have to work a lot on it. But either you have that kind of potential or you don't have that kind of potential, or you have lesser potential. So understanding all these your talents. So there are 9 to 10 different aptitudes which are majorly impacting your life, including the career. And apart from that, interest. Now, interest is something very interesting. Sometimes you have multiple interests. How many of you have multiple interests? See, almost everybody is saying yes. So how do you decide which interest you should be following for the career path out of those multiple interests? Obviously, you will say that कि सबसे ज़्यादा जो interest होगा मैं उसको follow करूँगा. Yes, Res?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, how do you decide the degree of your interest in various fields? कि इसमें मुझे ज़्यादा interest है, इसमें कम है. थोड़ा सा हम perceptions पे जाते हैं काफी बार. I mean, most of the time we will go by perceiving. Okay, इसमें मुझे कम interest है, इसमें ज़्यादा interest है. But let me tell you, your degree of interest which you feel is high or low depends on the environment given to you. Sometimes you go and watch a movie, the movie is excellent, but the environment of that theater is not that good. And that's why you don't have a pleasant experience. So you may say that, okay, I didn't like it. Although movie was fantastic, or within a movie, certain characters were fantastic, but overall plot or overall making of the movie was not that good. Maybe the direction was not that good. Maybe the cinematography was not that good. And because of that, overall, you didn't like a movie. Same happens with your interest. आपका जो perception है ना आपके interest का कि मुझे इस चीज में ज्यादा interest है, काफी बार अगर आपको contradictory environment मिल गया, या if you get a environment that is really not supporting you as a person, you may lose interest in that. Now I'm telling you slightly technical, but you need to scientifically assess which are your most prominent interest areas and which are your not so prominent interest areas. And then apart from that, there is something called as emotional quotient. Nowadays, emotional quotient has become very, very important across all corporates as well. In fact, nowadays, none of the corporates are willing to take people who are emotionally not stable or whose emotional quotient is not so good. Only merely basis IQ, you will go nowhere. In fact, you have to have a good EQ. Now, when we say good EQ, it is a very relative term, and that's why a dissection of even EQ has to be made depending on the job role. And of course, you also need to understand what is your working style. That is orientation. Are you a people-oriented person? Are you a information and knowledge-oriented person? Are you a creativity-oriented person? Or are you a administrative orientation person? If you see and reflect on yourself, some of you might be people who like to manage everything, organize everything very nicely, and that drives them. Wherever you go, you like to organize. Some of you might be creative people. Whatever you do, you like to do it creatively. Now, creativity doesn't only mean arts and drawings. It can be doing something differently. So that means creativity drives you. Some of you might be driven by knowledge. Wherever you get to get more knowledge, you like to do that. And that keeps you, going on and on. So what is your orientation? And some of you just like people around you. So you need to understand these things when we say that you need to understand your personality. And then step number 3 is, now that might happen somewhere in standard 10th or 11th or 12th. Now that depends on how you have completed your step number 1 and 2. Now here comes the time when you decide your specific educational path, that is specific educational degree course or whatever you want to do in terms of education. Let me tell you, just educational path is not your career. Educational path is just a vehicle to your career. So at this step, you have to decide your specific educational journey. So once you have decided your educational journey, now then comes what next? So सबसे पहले तो आपको उस course का जो भी degree course you are deciding, maybe somebody wants to become a pilot, for example. So you have decided to take up the certificate course or a degree course in that particular field, or somebody wants to become a game developer. So maybe say Abhay has said that, okay, I'm doing computer science. So evaluate the course content and make a plan to complete the educational degree. Now, some of you may find this irrelevant because you are anyway good at academics. So you don't really need to worry about completing your academic degree. But some of you will find it difficult because some subjects in that particular course of your interest may still be difficult to you. जैसे मुझे फिजिक्स आता है, केमिस्ट्री आता है, लेकिन बायोलॉजी डिफिकल्ट जाता है. But if I am choosing science side, till certain time I may have to complete the mandatory biology course as well. So how do I complete that? So course content या syllabus को अच्छे से study करके अपना एक broad action plan बनाना चाहिए you guys to complete your educational plan. And then comes second most important things. identify the skills required to start your professional journey and make an action plan to acquire those skills. Now, if you remember today's introduction theme, and I'm sure you all remember, it was assuming you have completed your educational journey and you are facing an interview, and you had to say, or you have to tell the interviewer that what skills you have that will help his company or the job profile. And that's one of the reasons across the industry when I said that 62% of the people are not employable, because students don't focus on acquiring skills. So you will have to identify, and for identification, again, you may need to talk to people and do the necessary data mining and exploration and gathering the knowledge. What are the skills required? Say, for example, agar Abhay ne computer game developer banna hai, so he should now also work on the moment when I go for an interview, what will those people expect from me in terms of skills and knowledge? If, say, Ashutosh wants to become a entrepreneur, and before becoming an entrepreneur, he wants to work for maybe a couple of years, he needs to assess what kind of mechanical engineering skills or what kind of other skills will be expected by those people so that they will employ me. And he should start working on that right from today. He should start acquiring those skills, mastering those skills, and doing something different in those skills. And for that also, you should have your action plan in place. And then do the assessment of soft skills and hard skills. So, as I said, soft skills, you already now, most of you know this. So thinking skills, communication skills, presentation skills, confidence, decision skills, your skills to face an interview or group discussion kind of thing. And I'm sure all Bolded buddies are already into it and they are developing these things. Apart from soft skills, the hard skills, then hard skills are of two types. Basic hard skills and advanced hard skills. In basic hard skills will come your academic skills, your ability and study skills and all other skills to complete your educational skills, educational journey. Basic computing skills, everybody of you should be absolutely conversant and I would say above average excellent in working with computer in terms of the say nowadays Windows is the most commonly used, or MS Office is the most commonly used operating softwares. So being proficient in MS Excel, being proficient in Word, being proficient in PowerPoint, these are something which will be fundamentally basically expected from you. None of you can say that I cannot work on computers and I'm not excellent. Now, let me tell you, I am currently also interviewing a lot of people for some of the job profile. I see many of MBA graduates or BBA graduates or even engineering graduates. Right now, I'm, say, for example, in the last 2 days, I was going through civil engineering profiles. I had mechanical engineering profiles. I had agricultural engineering profiles. I had MBA profiles. I have had BBA profiles. I have had computer science profiles. And many of them don't know, they just know, but they are not proficient in computer skills, the basic computer skills. A huge put off for me. अगर आपको ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद एक्सेल शीट फ्लुएंटली आता नहीं है, यू कैन नॉट ऑर्गेनाइज एन एक्सेल शीट, आपको उसके फॉर्मूलाज नहीं आते हैं, इफ यू कैन नॉट हेल्प मी in creating a data which will trigger decisions, then you are of no use to me if I am an employer. तो ये basic skill है, सबको आना चाहिए, whether you are going to go for medical field or computing field or commerce field. Basic computing skills, and of course writing skills. You should be able to write whatever you know. You should be able to write whatever you want to communicate. Now that can be technical writing, those who want to present a particular technical project to their employer, or it can be artistic or creative writing also for other field people, or it can be just, you know, proposal writing, research paper writing, depending on what profession you are going to get into. These are basic skills you should be having. And in advanced hard skills, I think you already know, most of you have understood this considering today's introduction theme. But advanced computing skills like computing, knowledge of computing languages, data coding, data science, Tally, QuickBooks, and there are so many things. There are so many professional certifications required. Other skills like operating machines, working on various equipments, designing skills, video editing skills, data analytics tools ka use karne ko aana. Again, let me tell you, just completing a course in these particular skills is not enough. You should be actually able to do something, and you should have proven by the time you are out of college. Don't just tell me that, okay, I have completed my Python language course. Don't tell me that I have just completed my C++ or I know C++. Do some project so that when you come to me for an interview and you tell me that I know C++ language, show me something which you have done in C++ practically, which is helping somebody, which can immediately help solving some problem. Just telling that I have completed my certification in C++ is not enough. Just telling that I know this coding, I can do coding is not enough. Can you show me what coding have you done and what problem has it solved? Now, problem solving need not be a very, very direct problem solving of the society. It can be a problem solving for a program developer. Okay, in computing, this is the problem, and my code is solving, or my particular program is solving this problem, for example, or it is supporting this, helping this, whatever it is. But it should be a real-time use application of your knowledge. And that's when you impress me. That's when you create an impact on me. And I know that, okay, this guy has got basic fundamental things, fantastic. Don't try to develop something very, very fancy or something very complicated. Nobody will expect you to have that kind of expertise at an entry level. Please understand this. So बहुत ज्यादा complicated fancy करने की कोशिश मत करो, but basic skill sets का sound understanding बनाओ. Okay? I hope I'm making sense to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm seeing a lot of serious faces, some of them yawning as well, but that's okay. Subah ka time hai. And I don't have that so funny style of explanation, but I feel sincerely that this should be communicated to you. So far, good?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No.
Yes, sir. I have one question. I am just going to complete my 9th standard in a month or so. So in which category I'll fall? Like the first stage, 8th and 9th, or the second stage, 10th and 12th?
What do you feel?
Maybe the second stage.
That's it. See, if you have got the enough information and if you are convinced that whatever you are thinking, you are made for it, and you have the necessary data to back it, don't worry. And again, it is not a watertight compartment like 8th and 9th mein ye karna hai, 9th and 10th mein ye karna hai, 10th and 11th mein. I have just given you a broad segregation. That doesn't stop you from taking decisions. So don't worry if you are in 10th or 11th or 12th. The speed of action will differ depending on your stage, if at all you have to reach somewhere in a particular time. And don't worry if you have not done all that. Let me tell you, there is always a time. Sometimes, we get under too much of pressure to do something within a certain age group. It's okay. Sometimes, ki chala ek saal thoda waste ho gaya, that's okay. Of course, don't waste 3, 4, 5 years. But अगर एक साल ज्यादा टाइम लग गया किसी को कुछ फिगर आउट करने में, that's okay, because you are trying to figure out your life. Rather than wasting your entire life, it's okay to waste 1 year and take your time, of course. But wasting 1 year should not be simply idly sitting and wasting. It should be working towards having that clarity and with a time-bound goal in mind that by the end of this year, I would be absolutely clear about this. That's okay. But simply you will say that I am taking a break because I have not yet decided about what to do. What do you do in that break will actually decide whether that decision was right or wrong. If you simply waste the entire year doing nothing, you have wasted the year. If you spend that entire year in figuring out your objective, your goal, that 1 year is not wasted. So what you do in that year is more important. So if some of you who are at an advanced stage of educational journey in life and still are not clear, it's okay to sometimes take a break. But that break has to be with a purpose, with a clear-cut action plan. And not and of course, as far as possible, avoid breaking your educational journey. Complete your educational journey, then take a break about deciding or doing something. Okay, I hope Gargi, your answer is you got your answer?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you, friends, in the corporate world, no one is interested in your knowledge. Everyone is interested in what you do with your knowledge. So please ingrain this in your mind very clearly. आपके knowledge की कोई value नहीं, आपने उस knowledge के साथ क्या किया है, what skills have you acquired and how you are using your knowledge. That is more important for an employer. आप दुनिया भर का knowledge लेके जाओगे and if you have not employed it, if you don't know how to employ that knowledge, no employer would like to employ you. Okay? So just to summarize, 1, discover yourself. 2, have a dream. 3, take a mentor. Taking a mentor is absolutely necessary. Nowadays, it was always necessary, but nowadays it is more necessary because there is a hell lot of overexposure of information, which makes you more confused. Then make a plan and get into action. Point number 5 is the most important point. And if you don't pay enough attention to that point, all the earlier 4 points will be of no use. So this is a graphical representation of what I have said. Discover, dream, pursue the educational and skill development plan, get into action, and nobody can stop you from achieving your dream. And a mentor will be available to support you throughout your journey. Now that mentor can be anybody, preferably take somebody from out of your family, because he will have a different perspective. He will add a different perspective. He might add a professional perspective, and his expertise will help you. So some quick keys which will help you build your career. Converting your knowledge into skills is most important. Don't limit yourself on knowledge. Convert your knowledge into skills. Focus on 1, 2, 3 skills which are required and work on it. You need not worry about the entire world's knowledge. Build the right kind of attitude. Building employability. Then comes consistency of efforts. That's most important. Then comes your speaking skills. Now, when I say public speaking skills, it doesn't mean standing on the stage and speaking in front of a crowd of 100 people. Even standing in front of 2 to 3 people and communicating and speaking is known as public speaking skill. So you should be able to speak effectively even in a group. Team working skills, utmost important. Most of the jobs need team working skills. Time and task management, absolutely important. Decision-making skills. Remaining competitive. Yes, unfortunately, for whatever you say it, but being into a highly competitive world, and when there are 10 people waiting to grab one job, you cannot afford to not be competitive. Learn to deal with failures and hence face more failures. And when you do something, you face failure. I would say go ahead on a spree of facing failures. Fail more, fail fast. You will learn how to deal with failures. Just by sitting and always working for success will not prepare you for failures. And you will never have a continuous success spree in your life. So learn to face failures. Remain agile, flexible. Keep moving, whatever happens. Keep achieving small milestones in life. And constantly do self-improvement. These are 14 keys to success, which I feel you all should be focusing on. And remember, if you fail to achieve your dream, then change the plan, not the dream. So that's it from my side. I hope you all liked this today's session. In case you feel that you found some value in this, feel free to connect with me. If you feel you need more information, you need more knowledge, you need more personal support, then also connect with me, and definitely I'll be working with you.